There it is. There it
There it is.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
You got it?
We got it. Sorry, folks.
Thanks, Twister. Yes, we are professional streamers. We are completely professional, unprofessional streamers. Yes, thank you.
Computer did an update last night and apparently changed the settings on me, and I didn't see it.
I hate updates. Man, they take away all 1.21 of our gigawatts. They take them all away.
So do you want to start that again?
We need Mr. Fusion. Get us powered up.
You need Mr. Fusion again? All right. How about this?
We need Mr. Fusion.
How about this? Let's redo the intro again, shall we?
Okay, let's try.
What is happening here? Oh, okay. There you go. Jeez. What is happening here today?
I have no idea.
All right. Okay.
We're here.
Everyone pretend the first 9 minutes didn't happen. Exactly, Twister. You got the good
What 9
mindset right
minutes?
there. There was no
That's
9
right.
minutes. We just started the
Hashtag-
show now.
Professional streamers. Hashtag.
How's it going, everybody? Let's see here. Ooh, we have a subscriber over on Twitch. Just Your Average Jen subscribing at tier 1 for 31 months.
Thank you, kid.
Let's see, who do we have over here in YouTube? And there is a bunch of you tonight. It was a good ignition, so I'm not surprised. We had the little
It was
Grim,
It's ignition.
Twisted Chaser 91. We have Mr. Fourth Row. We have Jet. We have Miss Splinter. Or whatever it is. Splinter. M Silent, maybe. I don't know. Rhea Rabbit. Marin.
Master Splinter from the Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Master Splinter is here.
Okay.
Yes. You should be out feeding pizza to your young. You should be nurturing your children, your ninja children.
John Corpus. We have Eli. Kendrick LaRoe had a good match tonight.
Eli had a rough night tonight.
Eli did have a rough night, yeah.
Eli had a rough night tonight.
We have Mr. Happy in chat as well. Look at that.
B, my favorite clown. What's up, dude?
Happy, don't forget, March 26th, Pineapple Pizza time, in case you missed it.
Shut up, John.
Oh, it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be good. You said from Domino's, right?
Domino's, yeah, I like their crust now.
Oh, it's going to be good. Yeah. All right, and we have Just Your Average Jen and Hunter Dillon over on Twitch, the two lone survivors over there.
What is up over there on Twitch? How's everybody doing tonight? We all ignited. We so fired up the computer didn't even work when we tried to flip the curtain. Everything's smoking. It's on fire. Cushman's got the Visine though, so we could put it out. A lot of smoking does that to your eyes, get all red and stuff.
There's chemicals in that, man. That thing would go up faster than fuck.
Yeah, but the
Visine. Not to swear here, but
the Visine gets the red out. Just Cushman had the idea. Trust me, I keep a little bottle here myself just in case. You never know when you might need it. Things happen. Things happen.
Just shocker.
Hey, I run a business and I got 2 kids. Okay, it could be worse. Leave me alone.
It could, well, yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
That's true.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Dudes and Belts Reignited Post Show here on Twitch. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop. And what an ignition we saw tonight. We have the finals of the Grand Prix all set in stone.
Dude.
And there's still a guy that doesn't lose in March still in the tournament, man. I don't know what it is about this month, man, but he could be limbless and probably still win in March. Let's be honest here.
He has been Mr. Right Place, Mr. Right Time, this entire month. Never, ever, ever bet against Briscoe Crown in the month of March, in the madness, during the Grand Prix, whether he's driving down the highway and he'll make it to your house in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Never, ever bet against this man.
Happy pineapple doesn't belong on pizza.
We are not starting this again. It already went off a cliff. I'm just
reading a comment. I'm reading a comment on YouTube, that's all.
I understand that, and I saw that, but I just want to kibosh this.
I'm not provoking anything yet.
The show already went off a cliff when I have to eat apparently like sextuple pineapple pizza. That was ridiculous. We went from a Hawaiian pizza for the 20 gifted, which we did get. D. Horton Echo took care of that, made sure that I had to do that. Well, we made
a couple $100 that night because of it.
Yeah, but then everybody started all of a sudden demanding that basically like the entire Dole processing plant be on top of a Hawaiian pizza that I have to eat.
Why Dole?
Because they're the foremost in pineapples. Like, you kind of think of that. You see
just
pineapple.
Go organic. Support your local farmers. What are you doing?
How many pineapple growers you know here in New England, dude?
I'm not saying specifically here, but I'm talking about like the Southern farms.
Like our dirt here in New England sucks so much we can barely even grow like a pack of potatoes, like let alone grow pineapples and things like that. So I mean, we got to get. You guys don't even understand how expensive this pizza is going to be. They're going to have to truck this stuff in from like overseas, and the amount of people cutting up all this pineapple, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to absolutely be ridiculous. I'm going to be pooping yellow for a week. This is going to be terrible.
And by the way,
I will do it in the name of science. I shall do it.
And let's introduce the pineapple pizza eater himself next week. Sure. He is your resident masshole himself, the one and only Marky Pins.
Oh, yes, I am the unfortunate one who should have to do the undastardly deed of eating a pineapple and ham pizza, otherwise known as Hawaiian, but that is not why. We are here tonight.
I would rather be eating a Hawaiian pizza than having to be on hashtag 31 days, sir. So consider yourself lucky.
You want to switch?
If Echo allows me to.
No, I think you have a piper that you need to pay. But speaking of that, there were a few people who paid the piper tonight. Bruce Wayne's is really, really in a downward spiral, even worse than it had been with a T, but we're going to get to that. Mick Diamond having another rough night. Ref Eli having a rough night. Your starting lineup, though, had a pretty good night. Kendrick had a tough one against Balaam, but we're going to talk about Briscoe Crown advancing to the finals, and his opponent in the finals in a very unique way is Atiba, and we will get to all of that very, very shortly as soon as John stops making my life hell talking more and more about pineapple.
I'll torment you at the end, don't worry. I'll be nice.
31 days of pineapple. Jet, stop it, Joe.
Ooh, that could be another good one.
I'm not eating pineapple pizza 31 days in a row. You can find yourself you can find another dude.
Not the pizza. Just pineapples in general.
No, I'm not eating pineapple 31 days in a row. You can find another dude. There's three other dudes. One of them will do it. One of them will do it.
I mean, if you really want to give me that option, I can easily do that.
I think this should all be transferred to the Sunday Night Savior, to be completely honest. He's bigger than me. He could probably eat more pizza than I could.
Wait, who?
It'd be more entertaining to watch him do it.
Wait, who?
I think he should do it.
Who?
It's the Sunday Night Savior. I think he deserves this one.
Who's that?
Oh, with the pizza. I know he's here on Sundays. But he should be eating the pineapple, like the dump truck of pineapple pizza. He should be eating that, not me.
All right. Do you actually want to talk about wrestling tonight?
I would love to, yes, but you brought up all of this pineapple.
No, technically, Jet brought it up. Go figure.
Don't pass the buck. You're the host of the show. You have to
I read the comment. He's a member. He's a member. I read the comment.
Oh, my God. Now you're sparking at technicalities. Get out of here. Go have some
I'm just saying, dude.
You're killing me, guy. You're killing me.
I'm just saying. Like I said, it could be worse.
Oh, and it will be.
All right. Let's move on to the opening contest of this evening here on Ignition. We had Balaam Links, one half of your new tag team champions, from La Isla. Balaam Links going up against one half of your starting lineup, Kendrick LaRoe.
And this is very interesting. We saw a stare down between these two a couple weeks ago on Ignition. La Isla was battling your starting lineup here on Ignition, and the stare down between Kendrick LaRoe and Balaam Links was intriguing. I remember even saying it, like if we fast forward a year from now and we watch a Balaam Links versus a Kendrick LaRoe match, how would it go? Kendrick LaRoe being a year more experienced, Balaam Links being a year more on the establishment of the top of RMP's food chain, and having these two behemoths go at it. Well, we get a little bit of a preview of that tonight, and it was everything that you would want. In the beginning, Balaam's smart. He's not taking any chances, some quick little kicks, but the moment Kendrick can get that power advantage, he does. Some big clotheslines out of the big man, some elbows in the corner, big Beal that tosses him across the ring. Kendrick really establishing himself as the power in this match. Now, not saying that Balaam doesn't have it, but Kendrick just has it. So this is Balaam's uphill battle now that he has to fight. And he does a pretty good job stopping the momentum with a big drop kick coming off the ropes directly into the mush of Kendrick. And he goes down pretty hard and checks the nose to make sure it's not bleeding or that it stays straight. Kendrick does get Balaam back down on the ground, stretches his arm really good a couple times. Big leg drop on that arm, immediately back to the armbar. One thing I can say about Kendrick is he does a great job exercising all of the power that he has. But there are some times that he doesn't stay on his opponent. He'll do a big move, and then he'll walk around and absorb that moment. But meanwhile, the other guy is getting a breath in his lungs, and he's able to move and get back up. Kendrick does a pretty good job of like 50-50ing this in this match. There were some times when he did kind of walk around, play to the crowd a little bit, which is good because the crowd's in a really like a 50-50 divide here. They love Kendrick. They love Balaam. This is a real good match between these two good guys that everybody likes to see wrestle. So they were a little divided. Kendrick doing a good job of keeping the crowd on his side. But in this moment, after he goes for that big cover, then he gets right back on the arm. So he makes up for that mistake earlier by getting right back onto the arm. And then some huge, and I mean absolutely huge chops out of Kendrick LaRoe after a big side slam. Balaam gets up out of the near fall. Big, huge chops to the chest. Lynx gets up to the outside. As he has Kendrick in the middle, he gets him in a hangman on the second rope, kind of springboards himself off of the second rope that's perpendicular to the rope that Kendrick is on, with the big, huge drop kick coming down onto his face. Kendrick reels back into the ring, and then we see Balaam with that beautiful springboard crossbody, and then that rolling Inzi that he loves to hit, that rolling Inzaguri for the 1-2-3 right to the back of Kendrick LaRoe's head. And Balaam Lynx gets a nice win right here. Good confidence win after Never Broken. Gets in the ring against a man bigger than him, larger than him, and gets a big win tonight. Big win for La Isla. Big win for Balaam Lynx. And a shine of respect after the match. He looks and they kind of did a fist pound. So there's much respect between these two guys. This is one thing I love about Rocky Mountain Pro. Matches that go to fruition and respect being shown at the end of the match, which you don't see in a lot of promotions, but we see it quite a bit in Rocky Mountain Pro. This was a good testament to good competition that we see in Rocky Mountain Pro week in and week out on Thursday nights.
Can't disagree with that statement.
Good stuff. Good stuff, this opening match. A lot of good energy. Crowd was into it. Crowd filled in. Great loud crowd tonight in the Wimmer. Loud crowd tonight. It was good stuff.
I'm just happy to see Kendrick LaRoe continue to be the wrestler that he is today.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about Kendrick LaRoe at this time last year, I mean, what a complete 180 he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of it is teaming up with Briscoe and being on your starting lineup to begin with Coach.
I agree with you totally. That was a game changer for like both of them. They both came out of Al Snow Wrestling Academy, very green, very new. They found a kinship with each other. Coach kind of put all the pieces into play and gave them some confidence to move forward as the tag team. And then they also grew individually. And we're watching the fruits of that now.
I was just reading chat here real quick. Yeah, I mean, and also You can also tell that he's starting to earn the respect of his peers in the locker room too. You saw what happened at the end of the match. He seems to be getting those type of endings quite a bit lately. Mm-hmm. So that's just a testament to the journey that he's been on and how much he's improved over the year.
Agreed.
And then Balaam, I mean, we were talking about this with Balaam back in 2020. Early 2021.
2 years ago. At this point, he's a year. He was the one that came out early in 21. And we were talking about how he was going to be a stud. And he's just putting the pieces together and finding his own road. Now here we are 2 years later. Balaam Lynx is on top of things, tag team champion with Echo, and just kind of like walking around.
Former charge champion as well.
Former charge champion, that's right. Walking around as though he belongs on the top because he does and has that experience now. And now he's passing that along to some of the other guys who are on the same road, but just a little bit later in their own lives or in their own career or at a different time in their own career.
It's definitely a fun
very
one to
similar
watch.
paths, these two. Yeah, we've seen Kendrick give great matches to some of the best that RMP has to offer. Balaam Lynx, Bruce Wayne's. You know, throwing really, really good matches and earning that respect. Well deserved. Doing well.
Let's see. All right. So before we continue on with our discussions here of Ignition, for everybody that's watching on YouTube, if you don't mind, please hit that like button. Leave a comment at the bottom of the video. And make sure you hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on so that you do not miss a single Dudes and Belts live show, live Ignition, or new episode of Charge that airs every week.
Yes.
And Sunday shows as well with the Rocky Mountain Rewind with us. However, we will not be doing that this weekend. And I might as well do this now, and we'll do it a couple times. So real quick before, because I know the bracket graphic's going to pop up first. All right. This Sunday, like we were saying, it comes with your memberships. Zamore will be with us this Sunday. We're not going to be doing the rewind this week. Your Ignition champion will be on with us tonight in the members-only chat, which means that if you do not have that Rocky Mountain Pro symbol next to your name, you will not be able to chat and interact with the Ignition champion during the stream. The only way to do that is to become a member at $4.99 a month, or if you're lucky, somebody will gift a membership to you and you will be able to do it. So if you don't have that symbol next to your name, you will not be able to chat on Sunday. So just be aware of that. You have a
I'll say it again. Oh, sorry, buddy. I thought you were done. My bad. Sorry.
I'm almost done. Don't worry.
Okay.
You do have a couple more days, so you don't have to do it right this second. You can actually join when we're not even live, because the join button will be at the top of the page.
It's the best $5 you can spend on the internet. Unparalleled access, members only streams, chats, all kinds of different perks. Definitely best $5 you can spend on the internet, legally anyway.
And it will also be YouTube exclusive. There will be no stream on Twitch on Sunday. I'm going to say it now. Anyways, moving on here. What?
If Joe's nose goes any further up Zamore's rear end, he's going to know what he had for dinner 3 days ago. Joe, take it slow, big guy. Take it easy. I don't know if he likes you that much. You trying. I don't know. Relax.
All right. Moving on here. We have a very entertaining match here between Sergey and Mick Diamond. I want to hear you describe this one. This one's going to be a doozy to talk about.
Wicked. The match wasn't very long in and of itself. The extracurriculars, though, really made the mass hole laugh. And this is another reason why I love Rocky Mountain Pro. We can go from a hard-fought battle between two behemoths in the ring, Balaam and Kendrick, each in their own right, deserving of their own place. And then we can go to an entertainment-laden match of Mick Diamond and Sergey, who, to be honest, just happy Sergey's back. and a little bit less worse for the wear. He seems to be okay. He had a new mask. However, he had a new shirt, too. He had the brand new Rocky Mountain Pro hoodie. You can get those. Contact Mr. Fourth Row and get a hold of one of those for you. He put it on the back. It says that he wrestles. I wrestle. W-R-E-S-L-E. Or W-R-E-S-L. Or something to that effect. So he's learning. He's learning. English is a tricky language to spell. And he gets in the ring, and he's got himself a little piece of 2x4. Which is a little weird to see him carrying a weapon to the ring, but doesn't use it as a weapon. Johnny Deathdrop with the 99-cent super chat. It's a good one. Mick Diamond comes to the ring and decides to play a card trick on Sergey, the old pick a card, any card, and I'll guess your card. And Sergey picks the 10 of spades. And Mick Diamond goes through his shuffling ability and realizes and somehow manages to get a card into Sergey's pocket. And Sergey pulls it out and thinks it's his card, but it's really the 8 of clubs. So not so much, but hey, Sergey's a really simple man, and it entertained him, and he was very, very happy with it. But even on commentary, they noticed that wasn't the card. I think Maxine was having a good laugh behind Derek Stone and Mercury Yaden at the table. Although the microphone really couldn't pick up Maxine tonight. He was having a hard time picking up Maxine. But then Sergey tries to outdo Mick Diamond with his own trick of trying to basically, like, karate chop, doing his best, like, Atiba impersonation of that 2x4 board. He gives it to Ref Eli. This was the beginning of Ref Eli's tough night. He had to deal with this. He holds the 2x4, and Sergey tries to chop it out of his hand. And all he does is knock it out of his hand and probably messed up Eli's hand pretty good. There's probably a couple splinters in there, but there's a whole lot of horsecockery going on before this match between Sergey and Mick Diamond. Mick Diamond's still looking for a win here, too, by the way, in the win column. He should be focusing a little bit more on coming up and maybe trying to take his opponents by surprise than surprising him with some pretty bad card tricks, if I do say so myself. But anyway. So now that the extracurriculars are taken care of, we get to the match. And there's a little bit of back and forth. Sergey's hand is still really hurting from that chop, and he really put it to that board, even though he didn't break it. But he made it disappear, so I guess that's a magic trick. It went out of the ring. So I guess that's kind of a magic trick. It was better than Mick's magic trick, to be honest with you. But Mick gets the first quick little advantage with a little crucifix pin. Sergey tries to block it, but he can't. He gets him down. Near fall right there. Comes back up with a big drop kick, and he goes for the head scissors. Sergey catches him in the head scissors, kind of holds him there for like 5-10 seconds too. It looked like he was kind of thinking about what to do. And then he comes up with the idea of, I am going to just put him down. And he just plants Mick Diamond right in the center of the ring and covers him with a leg drop for the win. And Sergey beats Mick Diamond. Sergey getting a win, coming back. This is good for Sergey. Sergey doesn't have his attire. Sergey wrestled in socks tonight, I believe. David Drake probably still has all of his gear hidden somewhere from when he stole it from him. Basically, that time he came out and attacked Sledge before, never broken. But actually, Johnny, Sergey didn't look too bad tonight. Very simple. He managed to get in the ring without falling. So that's a plus. But all things considered, Sergey getting a win here.
He also had a 2x4 holding him up, so I was very surprised.
Well, that's true, too.
I was very surprised. Not gonna lie, I thought this was the match that Mick Diamond was gonna finally get his first W here at Rocky Mountain Pro.
As did I.
Well, once again, I don't think Mick Diamond's taking this too seriously, man. I don't know. What do you think about his demeanor?
I think he gives guys too much space. Like I had said before about Kendrick. That was something he used to do a lot, play to the crowd, kind of pander, do the big guy thing, flexing and stuff. But lately, he does less of it. It's still a little part of it. Mick has to be more on the opponent. He has to stay on him. You can't just give a guy a forearm in the corner and then stand there and look at him for 4 seconds before you decide to give him an elbow. You got to know. It's like chess. It's literal live action chess in the ring, where it's just your piece versus the other piece, and you cannot wait, because the minute that you do wait, the other person puts you into checkmate. Mick has been very lucky this far to not be checkmated faster in matches than this. And luckily tonight, the match went as long as it did, kind of because Sergey is still figuring out the ropes. Very much on an equal playing field with where Mick Diamond is right now. He's got to be quicker. He's got to stay on his opponents a little bit more. And maybe he would have been able to pull out wins here. But the demeanor doesn't scream urgent. The demeanor screams, I'm here. I'll be here for a while. It'll eventually come. The win will eventually come. It's going to be a long eventually like this. It's going to be a very long eventually, if it keeps going down this path.
So what you're saying is that Sergey doesn't have to get booped in the muffin button to win a match?
Not tonight. There was no muffin button pushed. Tonight, Sergey just took the opportunities that were in front of him. He used his power to hold Mick in that head scissors when he came flying in for it. And he just stood there and held him up.
And he held that pin, too, because Mick was trying to get out of that.
He did. Mick tried to kick out of it at the very end of it. Thank you for reminding me that, yeah. And Sergey just said, nope, you're staying down. And he did. Sergey might be putting more pieces together of the puzzle than we may be giving him credit for. Ever since he realized more than a couple months ago, remember that night that he found out that he could push his own muffin button?
Yeah.
And he like gonged his head in the rope or on the apron or something. Since then, he seems to be taking a little more chances, a little bit more risk without being muffin buttoned, without turning into like Super Sergey. And tonight was pretty good evidence. Yes, I understand Mick is new and he's just out of the Al Snow Wrestling Academy, but matches like these for Sergey can be big confidence builders. Mick's got to go back to the drawing board here and figure something out. This game plan's not working.
He's going to have to figure it out.
The card tricks that he came out of the Al Snow Wrestling Academy with, they're not so good. They're not so good.
Quick shout out to Johnny Deathdrop for the 99-cent super chat. Definitely not the first time that I've had my name butchered like that. Probably won't be the last either. Anyways. This new chat.
That's kind of funny. That's a good one. Johnny Deathdrop. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, let's get into some Wildcats action here.
Yeah, this was good. This was good.
Lilith Grimm versus Lola the Adventurer. Once again, the rivalry is renewed on Ignition. And boy, I think this is one of the better bouts in a while.
I think this is one of the best bouts between these two ever. We see it week in and week out. And Lola's becoming more acclimated to Lilith's power game. And Lilith is becoming a little more acclimated to the fact that Lola's trying to sneak new stuff in to kind of throw Lilith off. Lilith already has the pieces put in place. She has the multiple different finishing moves. She'll always have the power, 95% of the time, will have the power advantage against any Lockette that she steps in the ring with. And even some of the guys she'll have the power advantage against. But Lola brought out a brand new one tonight, and it stunned Lilith. Early in the match, Lilith goes with the power early. Lola gets the seated switch as Lilith takes her down. Lola goes behind into a hammerlock, turns it into a double arm stretch, slams Lilith's face. All that really did was piss Lilith off, kind of. She powers up, returns the favor with the slam face down, gets a tight rear chin lock right at the ropes, like this far away. Lola just can't reach it. It was really well placed to give Lola that hope that she could get it, but she was just a fingernail short of getting the ropes. And Ref Alice was literally right there. And no, Derek Stone, it has been confirmed. Ref Alice is not Ref Eli's sister. They are not brother and sister. That has been confirmed by a few other people. Derek Stone, he needs a Tylenol. I think Derek Stone needs a Tylenol on commentary. He's having a hard time. But anyway, Ref Alice being right there. Lilith keeps that chin lock locked in for a couple minutes. Real tight.
I am sorry to interrupt you. We have a new super chat here from Fortune 4. The 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Fortune 4.
Thank you, Fortune.
No message.
Thank you.
Just a super chat. Thank you so much.
That's okay. We appreciate you. Thank you. And then Lilith goes with both leg DDTs. Usually we see a leg DDT. Somebody's working on a leg the whole match, but she ends up going double leg DDT. And now Lilith is really, really hurting. Lola's really hurting. Lil goes for the big power slam. She goes to get her up in a power slam position. And Lola shifts her weight suddenly and turns it into an X marks the spot, a little bit of a modified one, but turns it into a modified X marks the spot DDT and catches Lilith Grimm off guard for the 1, 2, 3. And Lola gets a win. This match, like I said, this has got to be one of their best matches that they've ever had. Ignition charge, don't care. We see it a lot of times. We see these two grapple each and every week, and this was absolutely one of their better efforts tonight. Lilith Grimm, Lola the Adventurer, great match, wicked entertaining, very hard hitting. Lola took some shots in this match, my goodness. But Lola the Adventurer comes out with a win this time, and they keep trading the wins back and forth. This is slowly becoming, John, like rivalry of the company. We've seen some big ones. We've seen some very big rivalries. Yes. We've seen some very big rivalries between some people. J.K. Pop and La Isla recently, Damon Ace and Mercury Yaden. You know, Lola and Lilith is turning into one of the hottest, most highly contested rivalries in the whole locker room. It's fun to watch.
Oh, she's laughing in the other room, but I thought somebody was screaming next to me. I'm like, what's going on? Anyway,
that would be bad.
That would be bad.
That would be bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, kudos to Lola, especially after what we saw at Never Broken and the way she kind of got herself a little bit involved in some situations and in her match herself when she picked up the win with Sky. But as we're going to see later on as well, I mean, both Lola and Sky, without the law office present, was able to get the victory by themselves. And they didn't even come out with each other this time. So, very impressive win for Lola. Again, she's gonna have to be one that we're gonna have to keep an eye on in 2023. She's still having those type of roller coaster weeks where she's up 1 week and then she's down 1 week and then she's up 1 week and then she wins a couple matches the next week and then loses the next 5. You know what I mean? It's been this for at least a good portion of a year now. But if she can string some wins together, you know, we're heading towards a milestone. We have Peak of the Pack coming up next month. She's definitely going to have to be in the conversation.
And I think all these matches against Lilith Grimm going the distance. It's only making both of them better. And Lilith knows what it's like to be there. She has been one of the headlockettes for a long time, and Lola's kind of been looking up and seeing some of the other ones like Lilith, like JC, Reagan Grimes a while ago, kind of looking at that spot going, you know, I want to be there. I want to get there. And she's showing the effort and putting in the work and getting some big wins here and there. This could very well be Lola's breakout year. We're going to have to tell. If she can keep the pieces flowing and keep putting those pieces together and building that puzzle, that is going to be her 2023. I'm telling you, we could be looking at some very, very big matches involving Lola the Adventurer.
As far as Lilith is concerned, I know she's dealing with a lot from the asylum on charge.
That's God, yes.
And
God, yeah.
Obviously, that's on her mind and always will be until that gets resolved. However, I don't think that was the case tonight. I think Lola just kind of pulled a fast one on Lilith, and she wasn't even expecting it. I mean, that was one a hell of a reversal for X marks the spot. So
it's very rare we see anybody be able to reverse one of Lilith's big power moves. The burning hammer, even a big power slam, something as elementary as a power slam. Lilith Grimm does times 10 compared to many, many other people because she could put that emphasis into it. And now here comes Lola reversing that at the 11th second into her finisher. That's pretty damn crafty, man.
But Lilith right now, I mean, she's on a collision course right now with Asylum and has been the Asylum. And it's been like this for the past few months, if not a better portion of 2023 as of right now. And I mean, I think she's going to be in the discussion regardless just because of the personal issues between her and the Asylum. But you can't count out Lola in the background, and I can't stress it enough.
No.
She seems to be on the up and up right now, but I really think that going forward here, you're looking at, you have JC as your luck as champion. You really have 2, possibly 3 really huge contenders for that title going towards Peak of the Pack and eventually Milestone in June. So definitely need to keep an eye. You definitely need to keep an eye on the Lockett's division for sure, because that's been on fire for the past 6 months to close to a year now. It's been a very competitive division as of late.
Damn straight.
All right, we got the first semifinal match of the Grand Prix tournament here. Briscoe Crown versus Bruce Waynes.
Here we go. Final 4 time. It's 2 matches tonight that'll decide the finalists in the Grand Prix tournament for that #1 contendership for Zamore's Ignition title. Here's the first 2 combatants, Bruce Waynes against the hobbling Briscoe Crown. We've seen it week in and week out. Everybody has known his knee and ankle, and that whole part of his left leg has just been absolute jello. Everybody has taken their turn doing whatever they can do to tear the cartilage, break the bone, rip the tendons, every little thing that they can do to make sure that one of the quickest guys in all of RMP is only running on 3 limbs, and that other limb is just kind of hanging there and he has to pick it up. And Boss is no different. But first off, we have to talk about what happened at the beginning of this match. Boss did not even come out to his own entrance music.
No.
He didn't even come out with his own gear on.
No.
Atiba came out first. Atiba's music hit. Atiba comes out first. Boss is behind him. And this whole thing leading back to Never Broken with Boss having to be subservient for 30 days. And here we go. Even in Boss's own matches, Atiba will come out first. Boss is wearing an Atiba shirt, which actually didn't last very long in the ring. It lasted about 5 moves, and then he threw it back at Atiba. There was a lot of jaw-jacking. Like, Boss is a man of his word. Like, he lost the match. He's going to go through with this, but he's fighting every bit of it. And Atiba was a big thorn in his side in the middle of this match towards the end. We'll get to that in a little while, but Boss does the right thing in the beginning of this match. I mean, I'm a Briscoe Crown fan. I'm a huge Bruce Waynes fan. But Bruce Waynes does the right thing, and he does, in fact, go after Briscoe's leg a couple times. He tosses him around the corner a couple different times, tosses him to the side, tosses him over here, goes after the leg. Now, Briscoe tries everything he can to get after Boss's leg to take him down. He takes Boss down. Now, that weakness of not having a leg doesn't hurt as much, because now he can still do a bunch of different things. He can drop some elbows. He can drop the other leg. He still has some power moves that he can hit Bruce Waynes with. But the problem is you have to get Bruce Waynes down first, and it's not very easy. So Briscoe lets Bruce do it for him. Briscoe's in the corner. Bruce comes for the big run. Briscoe gets the hell out of the way. Bruce eats the turnbuckle, and Briscoe comes up back and behind him and gives him a big flatliner. Knocks him down to the mat. Gets up in the top rope with a backwards dive, hits it. Thought the match was over after the big flatliner, and then he hits like the diving, almost like a Vader bomb behind him. It wasn't really like a moonsault, and he hits it. I thought the match was over, but Bruce kicks up. Very, very surprised. But then again, not very, very surprised. For the fact of being surprised that this is how Briscoe has won some matches very quickly, out of nowhere. But this is also Bruce Waynes. This is also the final 4 of the Grand Prix tournament. This is for a title shot coming up in a few short weeks if you win this tournament. So there's a lot on the line. Boss ends up getting back up. Now you can tell he's getting a little pissed, getting frustrated. He picks up Briscoe by that broken wing and drops him on his knee, right on the knee. And then a bunch of elbow slams to the knee, like a bunch of elbow drops. Locks the ankle lock, locks a half crab. He locks like a variation of a sharpshooter crab. Wrap your head around that one. Just different stuff, doing everything he can to just stretch, bend, twist, and otherwise just dismember that leg off of Briscoe Crown. Briscoe ends up getting to the ropes. A couple clotheslines and a jawbreaker later. Now Briscoe's off to the races. his ankle is still junk. He really can't get a hell of a lot off. So Boss sees it. World's strongest slam, second rope the coffin drop elbow. Doing good. Now this looks like Bruce is going to take the rest of the match. He's one second rope superstar away and a batarang from ending this match. And then Atiba decides to get up, and this is where I said Atiba is a thorn in the side in this match, and this is where it happened. Atiba grabs a microphone, gets up on the apron, and starts imposing his will on Boss by basically telling Boss to go in the middle of the ring and just lay down. Lay down, let Briscoe pin you, and Boss is not going to do that. If Boss is going to lose, it's going to be because the other guy beat him. If Boss is going to win, it's going to be because he hits the move and he wins. No matter, and even Atiba calls him out on it, like, did you just disagree with me? Boss is looking a little conflicted. This whole thing is throwing Boss off. Meanwhile, Briscoe's recovered. Meanwhile, Briscoe is now on the top rope. Boss turns back around to see what's going on with Briscoe, and he eats a crossbody from the top rope where I think Briscoe hit the ceiling, coming off of the top rope for the crossbody. And we get a 1, a 2, and a 3. And damn it, Briscoe Crown finds yet another way to win. Chalk up an assist to Atiba on this one, because I think Atiba kind of got what he wanted. He wanted to see Boss lose just to kind of rub the finger in his face and say, ha-ha. Because that's the kind of guy Atiba is right now. Not a man of honor.
Atiba was already predicting and was expecting him to beat Echo and move on to the finals so that Briscoe could have a nice little, that Atiba can have a much easier finals.
Right. I'm well aware of all of that. However, he is going to get that final, and we're going to talk about that later. But I think the other half of it, John, is just not only is Atiba enjoying this subservience, but I think he's also enjoying the humiliation that it's bringing to Bruce Wayne's. And I think that's more of it. It's honestly probably 60-40, maybe 70-30 at this point. He's more enjoying the humiliation that it's bringing to Bruce Wayne's than absolutely anything. I don't think anything would have made Atiba happier than to watch Bruce Wayne's lay down in the middle of the ring, a la like finger poke of doom kind of garbage, and have him pin him, have Briscoe pin Boss right there. But Briscoe Crown, again, right place, right guy at the right time, hits the crossbody and gets the win. Look, how's he going to do against Atiba in the final? I don't know. But all I know is that Briscoe Crown is in the final on one leg, has found multiple different ways to win matches, finds a new way to win tonight, and Boss is absolutely beside himself. This has really escalated very quickly, hadn't it?
I'm going to tell you exactly how this finals is going to end. It's going to end with the guy who doesn't lose in March win the tournament. It's his time.
Right, man.
It's his time. And I know he's going up against Atiba, and we'll talk about it later on, but you have to get behind Briscoe at this point. He has proven time in and time out again that he deserves to be in the conversation for that Ignition Championship. He's also shown it in the point standings, too. He's always in the top half of the point standings every week. Right. So I don't see how you can't get behind Briscoe right now. I really don't, especially after everything he's already endured throughout the course of the weeks, going into Never Broken, winning the big match with his partner Kendrick to stay a team, to stay your starting lineup. And now, even after everything that's been thrown at him with his ankle and all that stuff, he is still finding ways to win, and he's finding ways to win in March. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're a Damon Ace. I don't care if you're an Atiba. I don't care if you're Bruce freaking Wayans. You are not beating Briscoe Crown in the month of March, baby. Telling you that right now. In case you haven't figured out who I'm going to be picking to win this goddamn tournament, it is definitely going to be the bracket buster himself, Briscoe Crown.
It's a thing. And right now, I mean, the way he has found so many different unique ways to win, it is so very hard to doubt him right now. It would be impossible to doubt him Taking nothing away from Atiba, because Atiba finds ways to win matches too. We're going to find that out later. He found a very crafty way to win a match, to get himself to the final. Later on this evening, we'll get to that. But my God, if Briscoe Crown has not been the stud of the tournament yet again.
And I'm glad that Bruce Wayne's lost. Nothing against Bruce, but Twisted Chase in 91 in the YouTube chat basically pointing out the reason why. So that Atiba can force Bruce to lay down in the finals and let him win the tournament. What kind of finals is that? I'm actually happy of this outcome.
Agreed.
So.
We know we'll get a match anyway.
Briscoe Crown moving on to the finals on the left side of the bracket. We'll talk about the right side because there's a lot of fishy stuff. And once again, a Mockingbird gets screwed over in this match as well. Well, not really screwed. He actually kind of assisted. It was just bad timing. But anyways, moving on, we have former Legion members going at it here. We have Brew and Abatu.
This was very interesting. This brought back some old unsettling feelings of when the Legion were running rampant in RMP a couple of years ago, and how well that whole situation was, who Brumak was then, who Abatu was then. And Abatu's very much the same guy now, just in a different t-shirt and a different pair of pants. And Brumak is still kind of the same guy now, although it's a little different feel without the man whose name, who shall not be mentioned, has not been around in a long time to kind of thwart everybody's kind of mindset of how they would go about their matches and stuff. All three of the Legion members, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because Abatu really hasn't changed, but Lilith Grimm and Brew have really had this renaissance in their own careers and in their own minds that has made them into better people and different superstars now, ever since Legion has broken up. But this seems to be one of the first times that Brew has seen his old running mate in a long time, and he actually goes up in the beginning of the match to give Abatu a hug, and very Sergey-like, and they even mentioned that on commentary. You know, he kind of went up to give his old bud a hug and say, hey, what's up, dude? But I don't think Abatu understands that emotion very well. All Abatu understands is that the bell rang, time to destroy. And Brew comes in for the hug, and Abatu just answers it, doesn't want nothing to do with it. A big slam, a whole bunch of shots in the corner. And that kind of wakes Brew up real quick, and now he gets pissed. And he goes right to doing what Brew does. Whole bunch of different shoulders in the corner. 3 separate corner runs, big corner splashes. Abatu ends up firing out of the corner on the last one and takes advantage with a couple big shots, gets Brew down. Some big shots on the mat. Brew powers his way up. A couple really big shoulder blocks, and I mean huge shoulders. These are two, as the saying goes, two very meaty men slapping lots and lots of meat, man. And I'm telling you, these shoulder blocks shook the ring between these two guys. Big slam. He takes him down with the world's strongest slam. We get a near fall out of it. Abatu powers his way up, gets Brew into the corner, and Brew still has the wherewithal, even after getting smashed into the corner and having his brain kind of be rocked and kind of losing his senses for a second or two, manages to get out of dodge, get out of the way of a storming in Abatu going for the big corner run. And then we see the big Buffalo run, the run that really ends matches. And the Buffalo run means it is overtime. He hits it, 1, 2, 3, and Brew, the Buffalo, Brew, wins a big match against his former friend, his former stablemate, Abatu, and gets a big win here. And afterwards, Abatu kind of loses his freaking mind, didn't he? He grabs Ref Alice by the hair and starts pulling her around the ring like he's going to do something. Ref Alice is like 1/4 the size of Abatu. I mean, he doesn't understand, but that's still no excuse. He grabs her by the back head of the hair. And Kendrick LaRoe, thank God, man, comes up and makes a save, because that was going to be a very, very sad day for Alice if Abatu had his will and did his thing. But Kendrick comes out. They have a little bit of a shoving match, but Kendrick manages to calm the big man down. You know, your starting lineup with Briscoe and Kendrick is on the same page. Very much so, has been for a long time and will be for a long time. Ever since Coach Mack hadn't been around too much, Abatu hadn't been on the same page, I don't think. Abatu has gone back to doing what we used to call Abatu things. And those were the things that only he knows that are coming next. And this is kind of very worrisome for your starting lineup. I don't know what Coach Mack is, but they really need him. There was no Teddy tonight. Not that that would have made a difference anyway. But there was no Teddy tonight, so nobody to wrangle Abatu in. Kendrick LaRoe had to come up and make the save, and he manages to get Abatu out of the ring. And then the show can go to commercial, and Ref Alice does not get destroyed in the middle of the ring. And no, she is not Eli's sister.
I'm glad you made sure that you made that statement. I think you've made it a couple times already.
You have to say it a bunch of times, because if Stone is watching this one time, he probably forgot it by now. You got to say it again. Got to keep reminding him.
And you'll probably say it one or two more times, right? I'm assuming.
It's possible. I don't know yet. These things are mostly all improvised, so we go from there.
I had Brew going very far in the Grand Prix tournament here this year. He's starting to find it. I think whatever's going on medically after Dread Roberts and that whole situation on charge, he seems to have gotten himself together, and he actually looks a lot more healthy. You don't really see him grabbing ahead a whole hell of a lot. However, when he gets knocked in that spot, he'll have his moments, but he looks more aware, and he seems definitely looks a lot better than he has been over the past month and a half. So if this is an indication that Brew is, starting to come to his old self again and not really having those medical issues affect him, I think you got another person that you got to keep your eye on, at the very least on Ignition. God only knows Charge, because he put Dread Roberts away pretty quickly. But Brew, I think, definitely has his eyes on the Ignition Championship, and he's just going to have to go through the point system, unfortunately, because he got knocked out in the first round this year. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, again, a healthy Brew is a dangerous Brew.
You are. That is a true statement, sir.
And Abatu has gotten wins in the past. It's not like he's sliding right now. He's just an out of control Abatu right now. And I think with the lack of Coach Mack around, I think it's really starting to affect your starting lineup in a way where if Kendrick and Briscoe can't keep that guy tame, man, I don't know what will.
And it's rough for them because they both have their own stuff going on right now. There's a lot going on with your starting lineup, with Briscoe Crown being in the finals of the RMP of the Grand Prix, and Kendrick LaRoe having great matches every week against Rocky Mountain Pro's top competition. I mean, there is a lot that your starting lineup has to deal with week in and week out. Having turmoil from within of one of their own is something that we saw it with J.K. Pop in the law office. Look how well that worked. Not so well for J.K. Pop. The minute that there's internal strife and turmoil is the minute that the whole damn thing unravels. And we don't want to see that happen to your starting lineup. They've had a hell of a run together. They've really picked this thing up from the ground and gotten themselves running in their own direction, doing it their way.
Without Coach.
And their way is working. Yeah, and recently in the last couple months without Coach. They don't need this right now. They do not need this.
We have a super chat from Queen Vampirus for $2 saying, "Yay, RMP."
And she ain't wrong. She is not wrong. Thank you, Queen.
All right. We have a debut, sir.
This was cool.
We have your former Ignition champion, Sky Hossman, going up against the debuting superstar or star of Cushman.
He's the Cushman.
The Cushman.
He's the Cushman. Very impressive.
Speaks for himself too. So,
to be honest, he was trained by one of the Dudleys. I believe they said Devon Dudley School.
Devon, yep.
Devon School. He comes out, and we learn a little bit about Cushman, that he was recently in Florida. The air is very humid there and makes your eyes very, very red. And Visine in the beginning takes care of that. I like this guy. I like his look. I like his moves. He's very quick. Very impressed with him as a debut. And it was nice to see a debuting superstar not get actually just annihilated by somebody like Damon Ace, who usually doesn't take very well to new talent coming in. He usually just eats you for dinner. But this was a good match between Kush and Sky. Sky has shown to be a very good measuring stick. Sky can bring it to the ropes with the speed. Sky can keep it on the mat with the grappling. Sky is a very gift. Love him or hate him. Like him, don't like him, change it. Do whatever you do when Sky Horseman comes around. You cannot deny this man's talent. He's very, very technically gifted in the ring. Has thrown some very, very good matches at people the likes of Echo, people the likes of Balaam Lynx, some of the most technically gifted superstars on the Rocky Mountain Pro roster. And Cushman does a great job of keeping up with and keeping advantage here and there in the match. In the beginning, there's some feel-outs. Cushman gets the first advantage. He comes out real quick, a couple real fast arm drags, some chops. And then when we thought we were going to see a third chop, he drops to his knees and flicks his face. Gives him the old face flicker. And I think he got him right in the eye because, Sky kind of ran back and was holding his eye for a minute. But then Sky does get pretty pissed off at that face flick. He comes back, ends up knocking Cushman down. A bunch of stomps. We've seen him stomp body parts all the time. He does a good job at neutralizing somebody's body part. In this case, he takes the arm, big whip to the turnbuckle. Cushman fires back out of a corner, gets Sky in the side. Boom, nice side Russian leg sweep, gets him down for a quick near fall. Couple big clotheslines. Beautiful, perfect neck breaker. Well executed. Perfect neck breaker. Another near fall. Sets him up for the second rope bomb, the Vader bomb, as you will. Misses the Vader bomb. Sky ends up getting up into the fireman's brainbuster for the win. Very well contested match between both of these guys. Very impressed with Cushman. Very, very impressed with him. He threw a good match at Sky Horseman. The Sky Horseman's no pushover, like I said. It's a good match, but this is a testament to why Sky is a former Ignition champion and earned that Charge Championship match by cashing in that Ignition title against Remy D and showing why that he will be a star that will always be in a title hunt anytime he gets his name in that conversation, and well earned too. Like I said, like him or hate him, you cannot deny Sky Horseman. But this Cushman, John, I'm kind of a believer. One match in, and I'd really like to see some more of this guy.
I'm not surprised that he's one of your favorites now.
It has nothing to do with the innuendo, all right? It has nothing to do, we use the same brand of eye drops. Just very good, very technically gifted. I like good wrestling. I like matches that have great wrestling. I like matches that end in 1, 2, 3s. And this match was just a good match to have between these two guys. This was right up the Masshole's alley. That's not even a bowling pun. This is exactly the kind of match I like. Very good match between the two fellas.
No, I have to agree. And granted, Cushman's offense is very unorthodox to say the least, but when he changed them together, they are effective. That's for sure. And I mean, no matter what you say about Sky, you can't deny who he is and what he does in that square circle. He is a veteran in that square circle. Whether you like him or you hate him, you have to respect him.
For such a young man. He is a veteran for such a young man.
You have to respect him.
Mm-hmm.
So Sky
Ken
Horseman,
says he had me at tie-dye.
He had me at tie-dye. Yeah, so a very impressive win for Sky. And Cushman, very good debut. I was actually pretty impressed.
Wicked.
Very
yeah.
Again, unorthodox style to begin with, but at the same time, man, he pushed Sky to the limit. There was a couple moments in that match where I thought he was going to pull off the upset.
Yeah.
But
that perfect neck breaker after those two big clotheslines, I thought he might have had him. Knock him that many, senseless, that many different ways, and then snap his body forward in half, and Sky bumped back. Bump your head on that. You're looking at the lights for 3 seconds. That thing could have been over.
So kudos to Cushman. Very good debut. And Sky Horseman, once again, man. Love him or hate him. He gets it done.
He's doing the thing.
He gets it done.
He does the thing.
All right. Rematch of the Dudes and Belts Dream Match of 2021. It's been 2 years, almost 2 years already. Can you believe that?
It really has been, man. It's almost been 2 years. The end of June will be 2 years since that milestone, that Colorado Cup. Actually, that dream match between Echo and Atiba.
Echo versus Atiba in the second semifinal match here in the Grand Prix tournament. I'm not going to say a whole hell of a lot here. I'm just going to have you take over and run with it. But do remember that we are kind of pushing time a little bit. So
I got you. So when you think Echo and Atiba, you think quick, you think hard hitting, you think just anything could come from out of nowhere from either one of these guys. And you would be absolutely correct. The beginning of the match, nobody can really take an advantage. Both are so quick with the reversals. On the mat, both are so technically gifted. Even though Atiba's being this knucklehead that he's been over the last few, he's finding, and we talked about this a few months ago, if he ever saw some results, why would he change? He saw results, why would he change? Echo staying the course, doing what he does, throwing fantastic matches at absolutely everybody. And Atiba had to pull out all the stops tonight to end up getting the win, which Atiba does end up getting the win. We kind of gave that away a little while ago, but fantastic match all the way through. Echo hits a huge drop kick. Atiba gets out of the ring, takes a walk, comes back in. Echo hits another one. Atiba takes another walk, trying to throw Echo off. Finally, Echo can't take it no more. Echo follows him out. Atiba comes back in. Classic wrestling trope. As soon as Echo comes back in, boom, Atiba starts striking. Finally, like 5 minutes into the match, somebody finally has an advantage after all the back and forth. And Atiba does do all the things, man. The kick, big overhead suplex, giant clothesline, big near falls. He blocks Echo's comeback. He pulls Echo's hair back down. Echo's on the way, getting into it. And somehow Eli missed it. But Atiba grabs a whole handful of hair, pulls him down. Balaam Lynx is going nuts on the outside because Lynx is out there for Echo. Bruce Waynes is out there because he has to be. He's there so he doesn't get fined, basically. And at this point now, everybody's out there. Bruce really is not that interested in helping Atiba, but he's also not really going to help Echo either. So he's just kind of there watching the match. You know what I mean? Like, and they're still jarring. Atiba and Bruce are still jarring at each other, and not in a good way. Echo responds big time. After Atiba's got him down, he starts pushing him in the head and just messing with him. Come on, Echo. What do you got? What do you got? Just being a knucklehead. And my goodness, does Echo respond. Some huge forearms, big uppercut, beautiful step up Inzaguri. Gorgeous step up Inzi. Echo and Balaam right now throwing the best Inzaguris in the whole company right now. Balaam with that rolling one. Echo loves to do the step up Inzi. Just absolutely gorgeous. So now here we are. We get Atiba in the corner. He's reeling on the side. Echo at this point has given him 3 double-handed judo chops. Like they're like the ow, both sides of my chest have just been caved in chops. 3 of those. Atiba's in a corner. Echo comes in for the big splash 1. Then Echo comes back to the other corner and goes to make the big run into the corner. Well, Atiba pulls the old switcheroo. Atiba gets out of the way, pulls Ref Eli in as Echo does his through the ropes kick and accidentally kicks Eli in the back a couple times. Now Eli's down, his back's hurting, his arm's already hurting from counting all night long. You could tell his wrist was hurting. Now his back's down, he's hurting, he's out. So now that Eli's out, Atiba sees a moment here. He gets Echo. Echo's trying to help Eli out, gets Echo up, hits the big flapjack. Now, this is where stuff starts getting Atiba-y. Gets Boss in the ring, tells Boss to use the bat. And Balaam Lynx comes in the ring and says, don't you dare. Don't you use that bat, Boss. You're better than this. He's giving him that talk, and Boss is now wrecked. He knows he has to listen to Atiba, but he also is listening to Balaam Lynx because he knows Balaam's right. So he's wrestling with, like, good guy one shoulder, bad guy on the other shoulder. Atiba sees all this, and he's got no time for it. He's got absolutely no time. And Atiba basically kicks the cats. Right behind Balaam Lynx, comes up behind him and just kicks him right in the cats. Use your imagination. Atiba hasn't gone low in a while. We see him do it tonight to Balaam. Atiba holds Echo back and tells Boss to do it. Now, as this is happening, Eli's making his way up. Boss has to do it. He goes to do it, and as he swings the bat, Echo gets out of the way, switches with Atiba, and Boss hits Atiba in the stomach with the bat. Eli sees it and disqualifies Echo. You talk about somebody that did the right thing but got the wrong outcome. The definition of task failed successfully. That was Echo in this match tonight. Poor guy got screwed out of another final, another match for another Ignition title shot, and loses here. And Atiba ends up getting the win. So it will be Atiba versus Briscoe Crown in the finals next week on Ignition for that #1 contendership. John, if you're Bruce Waynes, you had to do it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had to.
If he didn't lose the match on Saturday, we wouldn't be in this predicament, and we might actually have Echo moving on in the finals.
You're not wrong.
That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. You put too many chips on the table when you didn't need to. And here we are.
True.
Bruce can't say no. Hence why chaos ensued in this match. If it was just Balaam out there at ringside, it would have been a whole different ball game. And I'm pretty sure we would be saying Echo is your finalist on the right side of the bracket. But instead, Saturday happened. He lost to Atiba. He has to follow Atiba around like a pet. And now here we are.
Basically.
Excuse me.
Kind of proves that Atiba really wasn't all that interested in this, though. Because if you think about it, right? If Bruce hits Echo with the bat while Ref Eli is standing and trying to get up and kind of already is up, and he sees Bruce hit Echo, Atiba would have got disqualified and Echo would have been in there. So it's almost like Atiba didn't really care about moving on. He just wanted to inflict the pain and the damage onto Echo. And Echo, in a weird way, helped himself by not getting hit and Atiba by getting Atiba hit. I don't know. There's a lot of menagerie that happened in the last... There was a lot of mess that happened in the last minute of that match. And poor Bruce Waynes was absolutely stuck in the middle of all of it, man.
And I have a funny feeling he's going to be stuck in the middle of it for a while. He has to be there for
another 25 days.
25 days or something like that? Yeah.
It's been 5 days.
It's going to be a rough 25 days for Mr. Bruce Waynes, that's for sure. But yep, we officially have the finals of this year's Grand Prix tournament.
We do. Yes, we do.
Briscoe Crown versus Atiba. I don't know, per se, if a prediction might be necessary, but for the sake of us doing it the past couple weeks, Marky Pins, who do you have winning next week to get that #1 contendership for Zamore's Ignition title?
Well, if you go by what's been going on in the month of March.
Mind you, the past 2 years, kind of the math in my head a little bit. Briscoe Crown is 7-1 in the past 2 years in March. Just want to say that right now.
If you go by what has been happening, Briscoe Crown is the obvious choice to win the match.
Of course you would.
If you go by, well, we got to analyze this thing here.
I understand.
I'm not just going to sit here and go, I like that guy. He's going to win. If you look at what Atiba could do, what he can do, more importantly, what he could force Bruce Waynes to do, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult for Briscoe Crown to overcome this one. All right. This is going to be the hardest one for Briscoe to have to overcome. He has found ways. He has found moments. He has found just those little tiny openings to make sure that he is there at the end of the match. Again, right place, right guy, right time. That has been Briscoe Crown. Atiba has said it before. He proved it tonight. No matter what happens, he can always go lower. And that is something you have to worry about with Atiba. With the shot at the gold on the line, I cannot go against Atiba in this one. I can't. For two reasons. Number one, it would be fitting right now for Atiba to make it to a championship match because he has been a champion in the ring. He has looked phenomenal. Love him or hate him, he has looked great, winning matches all over the place. He has Bruce Wayne's in his back pocket. And number two, because last time I picked what I hoped wouldn't happen, the other thing happened when I picked JK Pop to somehow beat La Isla, and they didn't. So this time I'm hoping it happens again. I'm picking Atiba, hoping that Briscoe Crown proves me wrong. It's so hard to pick Briscoe in this final situation with literally the entire planet of all of professional wrestling basically stacked against him in this moment in time. I think the odds are just going to finally come crashing down, and I think Atiba is going to disappoint all of us and win this match. I really do. Unfortunately, I really do.
You know the funny thing about what you said? You said it's one of the tougher decisions that you have to make. I'll tell you right now, last week when I picked La Isla to take those titles away from JK Pop, I thought that was the easiest pick I ever had to make here. But this might be topping that. I think Briscoe Crown is easily 100% going to win this finals matchup here, and he will have his number one contender shot. I don't care about Bruce Wayne's and Atiba and that whole situation with the subservient thing. I'm sorry. Shall we name off some of the players here over the past couple of years that Briscoe Crown has defeated?
Oh, you don't have to. We're
Damon
all very,
Ace,
very well
Ramrock,
aware.
Kane Koyama, Bruce Wayne's himself. Just saying.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
You're not wrong.
I'm going with the stats on this one. I'm going with the 7-1 the past 2 years in March. I am going with Sir Briscoe Crown here to win this Grand Prix tournament this year.
I honestly hope you are right. I really, really do hope you're right, but there's just something in my gut that says that Atiba's going to pull some fast one and walk out of here and disappoint all of us next week.
And yes, missed the fourth row. Called Briscoe from the very beginning, by the way, and I wonder why. I think it's because you have the 4 in your name. I think that's a very good assumption. La Isla will have a very short reign, and the JK Pop will be back to where they belong. I don't think so. In case you haven't seen last week on Charge, it doesn't look very good for JK Pop right now. Atiba has a plan and will win it all. I don't know. I don't think so. I think you could throw half the roster at Briscoe right now. And as long as Kendrick's by his side, like he was tonight, which, by the way, Kendrick did not get involved at all.
No, he did not.
In tonight's match.
No, he did not.
I think there's a lot of people in the back there really rooting for Briscoe next week. And I think he's going to have more allies than he thinks. That's the other thing. Atiba has pissed off so many people back there over the past year. How can you not?
Do you think he cares?
But how can you not get behind Briscoe at this point in time? Knowing
you have to.
Knowing
it's easy.
Knowing what Atiba has been doing the past year or so, almost.
Winning.
He started his whole run by kicking everybody in the gonads.
You're not wrong either.
Every single person he was in the ring with for the first 3 months of this change of Atiba has ended in a nutshot one way or the other. He has purposely gotten disqualified in huge matchups with title implications on the line because he doesn't care and he's making a statement, so he's just kicking everybody in the gonads. I think Briscoe's going to have more allies in this match than what people think. And I
also think he's going to have his hands full.
He's had his hands full for the past 2 years.
Not like this. Not like this.
He beat Damon Ace by himself. Match. The few matches that we see Damon Ace lose, right?
He was on 2 legs.
And there hasn't been... It doesn't matter if he's on 1 leg. He showed it tonight, and he's been showing it. He's been showing it the past 3 or 4 weeks. He's had this injury for almost a month now. And he's won almost every match he's been in. Whether it's a tag team match or a singles match.
All of it leads up to next week. This is going to be one hell of a confrontation. It really is.
I mean, God, we've only seen Damon Ace lose a handful of matches since we've been covering Rocky Mountain Pro.
Truth. That's a fact. Indisputable.
Maybe just over 1 hand, and I'm not even kidding, of the amount of times that Damon Ace has lost. Briscoe was one of those handful.
A Damon Ace loss is what started me getting into trouble with my own mouth when he lost to Danger Dean that time. Very few times have we seen him.
Victory roll of doom.
It was. It was. It was.
So that is your finals for next week in the Grand Prix tournament. Briscoe Crown versus Atiba. Looking forward to it. I'm sure everybody in chat and the RMP faithful are looking forward to it as well. And that's going to conclude tonight's Ignition review. Your final thoughts on this show?
This was such a very, very good Ignition. We got our finals dictated for next week, Briscoe and Atiba. How good was the Locketts match tonight? Cushman making an awesome debut. Sky Horseman looking great. Balaam looking awesome like a house of fire. Bruce Wayne's caught in this menagerie of a mess that is his next 30 days. There's a lot going on in RMP right now, and even through all that chaosity, the whole thing got pulled through to have a wicked piss of Ignition tonight. And it was amazing because we didn't have to see that coffee cock Johnny Casanova tonight on the show either. So what a great show. Great show tonight.
Did you just call him a coffee cock?
I did.
Why?
Of course I did. Because he is.
Why are you wasting valuable materials on Johnny Casanova?
I can use that so many different ways. That was tame. That one was tame. We're good. Well, fantastic Ignition tonight, though, guys. Awesome Ignition. Yaden and Stone have a cool thing on the desk at commentary together. They have a cool bounce back. Lucas still MIA. Kind of hope for the best for him. Really kind of miss the guy. Miss hearing his voice. So if anybody has any info on that, that would be nice. Glad to see Sergey back, though. Seems to be better than ever. Didn't fall on his face getting into the ring. That was nice to see. But no, RMP kicking ass on Thursday nights, as per usual.
What would happen? Let's just say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is happening. But let's just say, what would the RMP faithful think about having a membership-only live chat stream, like we're about to do this Sunday, with Sergey? Look at those.
Sergey! I want that.
Look at that smile.
I'll pay for that. Oh, I'm already a member. I don't have to pay. Plus, I'm a dude, so anyway.
Yeah, you're technically on the show. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm on the show, too. I'm a dude, and I pay for it, so that means double yes. That would be fantastic. Who wouldn't want to hear from Sergey for an hour?
Not for me, but sure, many would love it.
Oh, Joe, you are such a liar.
Stop calling him Joe. Stop calling him
My
Joe.
favorite Jets. All right, fine. Jets, my favorite chancla. My favorite chancla.
I would love to meet Sergey. The ideas are floating. Call it muffin time.
Muffin time with Sergey.
Muffin time with Sergey. We should, if he ever comes on the show, like I said, nothing's confirmed. I'm just getting some interest abroad here.
He has an Instagram page. We could message him.
There's gotta be a favorite flavor of muffin for the one who created Muffin Time. What do you think it is?
What would Sergey's favorite muffin flavor be? You know, it'd probably be weird. It'd probably be like bran. He'd probably like a bran muffin guy. Like, it'd be really weird. I don't know if they got all the really awesome flavors of muffins, you know, while he was growing up in Russia somewhere, wherever he grew up. I don't know if he got all the great flavors. Maybe he did. I don't know. But something tells me he strikes me as a very plain kind of guy. Maybe a corn muffin, which, I mean, I love a corn muffin every once in a while too, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. You know what? That would be a really good question to ask Sergey. If we ever got him on the show, what would be your favorite muffin? He might point at his head. I don't know. Would he understand that? Does he think his head is a muffin now?
I don't know.
Because that's where the muffin button is. These are questions we have to ask him. We have to know this stuff.
All I know is that RMP hoodie looks good on Sergey. Hashtag cheap plug.
No, it really did look good on him. It really did.
All right, guys. Again, just to repeat everything that's going to happen this Sunday, Jumbo Zamore, and he's going to hate me for calling him Jumbo, but I call him Jumbo on Saturday. So, Zamore, your Ignition champion, will be here with us live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, in a members-only chat live stream, where if you're not a member, you will not be able to interact with Zamore. However, if you choose to be a part of this stream and interact with the Ignition champion, you can join as a member for $4.99 a month. Not only will you get a chance to interact with RMP talent and stars, but you will also be able to have Q&A sessions during our Dudes and Belts live streams on Sunday nights, and also you will have priority chat for Ignition. Now, I know there's been quite a few members over the past few weeks, so there is a lot of you chatting during the Ignition shows. You have to bear, some patience with the commentary team, because not only are they reading all your comments, but they are also trying to call the match as well and do a show. So just keep that in mind. But you do have priority chat throughout the course of the night. So if they see your comment, they will read it live, along with super chats and super stickers and all that stuff that YouTube has to offer.
And they do a pretty good job of that while they're calling the matches, saying thank you to people, getting their messages read live during the show. They do a very good job of that. Best $5 you could spend on the internet. If you are a wrestling fan, you are in the right place at the right time.
And we are
put that $5 in, say what you got to say.
And at some point soon, we are going to be working on a new tier. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to have a few more perks as well. So basically, let's just say this for an example. If you end up buying like a tier 2, which is it's in the works, it's not out yet, but if you get a tier 2, you will have not only the tier 2 perks, but the tier 1 perks as well. And you will also have a different symbol next to your name so that you stand out as a tier 2 member. So we will not miss you. But that's not for a little while. We're still kind of working on details for that. So there will be another tier added to the YouTube channel. But as
another tier guy.
Another
so many
tier.
tiers. Yeah, wicked, dude.
But yeah, so as of right now, still that 1 tier membership of $4.99 that gets you into the membership only live chats during these streams where we have talent on, so you can interact and ask questions to them, and also the priority chat for Ignition and Q&A with the dudes on Sunday nights. And other than that,
a good time on Sunday nights. Sunday nights, when we do these shows, even when we do the rewind, we have a real good time. We're not analyzing matches. We're just here being ourselves and doing the thing. Come on by on a Sunday night. Check out the show. We have a good time over here. It's usually a menagerie of all kinds of horsecockery. You have a good time.
He's not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Thank you, Bud Bellflower, for giving us that word.
I mean, that's half the reason why he got into this mess on Tuesday with the pineapple pizza.
It really kind of is. Yes.
It's kind of what we do.
Oh, God, I wish training didn't get canceled on Tuesday and I didn't open my big fat mouth. Shit.
Twister Chase 91, you guys have a great evening, and just like me, I am sorry for everyone who had a busted bracket.
Yeah, mine went to hell in the first round, so I didn't even hang on to it. I just keep the actual one now.
And on top of that, yes, you guys are correct. You get all those emotes. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to check real quick. This is something I don't typically do live, but considering what happened on Tuesday with Marky Pins' little pineapple pizza bet that he now has to fulfill. Hey, you laugh now, but we made some money, so.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I just have to eat the pizza.
Review. Oh yes, you are loving it. You are absolutely loving it. Don't lie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see emojis. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
it costs a lot to do the thing.
From last Tuesday alone, we unlocked another slot for an emoji. So we'll be adding another emoji with your tier 1 membership of $4.99 a month. So not only do you get all those emojis that you see right there in chat, but there will be a new one added shortly.
It's going to be me holding the pineapple, just pointing at it. Probably not, but that's okay.
So there you go, guys. See, the more members we have on the YouTube channel, the more perks and the more emojis and the more stuff that you guys get in return for being members. It's the gift that keeps on giving, man. All right. Do it? No, it's already up. I don't need that up. All right. Other than that, I will be actually live on Twitch this Saturday. I'll be making a return on Saturday nights. I might be with a person or two. I don't know. But I will at least show my face live on Twitch for the first time in a while on Saturday night. So make sure you follow my channel at Johnny Deathdrop on Twitch. And make sure that you have your notifications on so that when I do hit that go live button, you will get the notification and you can come hang out with me on Twitch. And then Sunday, obviously, we have the membership-only stream with Zamore.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that's about it for the weekend, man.
Come check us out Sunday night. Big night with the Ignition champion. A jumbo night, if you will.
Very jumbo night.
Uh-huh. Will Bud be with him?
No.
Have you gotten that information?
No. Not that I know of.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got here? Did I just say buffering? Oh, no. That's an emoji? No way. There's a buffering emoji on YouTube? It's got the circle of death.
That is hilarious. That there is a buffering emoji. God, I love the internet sometimes. Sometimes. A lot of times, some hot parts of it are hot garbage. Not this part, though. Not this part. There's a buffering emoji. That's fantastic.
All right. Other than that, guys, we are going to sign off for the evening. We greatly appreciate all you guys watching us tonight. As always, again, you have a few days to get those memberships in. If you don't have that symbol next to your name, that means you're not a member. Make sure if you want to be a part of this stream on Saturday and you want to ask Jumbo a question personally, make sure you get that membership subscription in at $4.99. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Sunday. For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Marky Pins, I will see you guys on Twitch on Saturday. But for the dudes, we will see you guys on Sunday with your Ignition champion, Zamore. And we're going to have a good old time.
Wicked.
We don't know what's going to be asked. We don't know what's going to be said. But all that I know is that we always, every single time we have a guest from Rocky Mountain Pro on, we always have a good time.
Break them. We break them. Ha.
Well, Eyes breaks them.
Usually, yeah. But,
Usually.
You know, he's on the logo, so he's a we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we greatly appreciate you watching. As always, folks, from us to you, have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. As always, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.